Hare Acharya Shri Haridas Thakur Ki Jai. Prem se kaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasati Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai. Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopinath Shama Kund Radha Kund Shri Govardhan Ki Jai. Vrindavan Dham Ki Jai. Madhur Dham Ki Jai. Navadvip Dham Ki Jai. Jagannath-puri Dham Ki Jai. Bhakti Devi Ki Jai. Tanasi Devi Ki Jai. Gangamai Ki Jai. Purnamai Ki Jai. Samaveta Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. Jai Ho Radhanandi Hari Hari Bol. All glories to Shri Shri Guru Gauranga. Okay. Oh. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Radha
Pahimam. The glories of Srila Haridas Thakur. Summary of the third chapter is given by Srila. A young Brahmana girl in Jagannath Puri had a very handsome son who was coming every day to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. This was not very much to the liking of Damodar Pandit, however, who therefore told Sri Chaitanya, "If you have so much love for this, people will doubt your character." Hearing these words from Damodar Pandit, the Lord sent him to Navadvip to supervise the affairs of his mother, Sachi Devi. He also especially requested Damodar Pandit to remind his mother that he was sometimes going to her home to accept the food she offered. Thus, following the order of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Damodar Pandit went to Navadvip, taking with him all kinds of prasadam from Lord Jagannath. On another occasion, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu once inquired from Haridas Thakur, who was known as Brahma Haridas, how the Yavanas, or persons bereft of Vedic culture, would be delivered in Kali Yuga. Haridas Thakur replied that their deliverance would be possible if they very loudly chanted the Hare Krishna mantra. For he hearing the Hare Krishna mantra chanted loudly, even with but little realization, would help them. After describing this incident, the author of the Chaitanya Charitamrita also describes how Haridas Thakur was tested at Benalpula, a village near Shantipur. A person named Ramachandra Khan, who was envious of Haridas Thakur, sent a professional prostitute to attempt to defame him. But by the mercy of Haridas Thakur, even the prostitute was delivered. Because of offending a pure Vaishnava, Ramachandra Khan was later cursed by Nityananda Prabhu and ruined. From Benapula, Haridas Thakur went to the village known as Chandapur, where he lived at the house of Balaram Acharya. Thereafter, Haridas Thakur was received by two brothers known as Hiranya and Govardhan Majumdar. But in the course of discussion, he was offended by a caste Brahmana known as Gopal Chakravarti. Because of this offense, Gopal Chakravarti was punished by being afflicted with leprosy. Haridas Thakur later left Chandapur and went to the house of Advaita Acharya, where he was tested by Maya Devi, the personification of the external energy. She also received his favor by being blessed with the chanting of the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. If you want to read the purports, I think you gotta go to advanced view and put the purports on so you could see the text in the purports. Only check the translation and the purport. Okay, so usually we read 10 texts each, and if there's a long purport, you can pass it off after. But
I offer my respectful obeisances unto the lotus feet of my spiritual master, and of all the other preceptors on the path of devotional service, unto all the Vaishnavas, and unto the 6 Goswamis, including Srila Rupa Goswami, Srila Sanatana Goswami, Raghunath Das Goswami, Jiva Goswami, and their associates. I offer my respectful obeisances unto Sri Advaita Acharya Prabhu, Sri Nityananda Prabhu, and Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, as well as all his devotees, headed by Srivas Thakur. I then offer my respectful obeisances unto the lotus feet of Lord Krishna and Srimati Radharani, and all the gopis, headed by Lalita and Vishaka. All glories to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. All glories to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. All glories to Nityananda Prabhu. All glories to Advaita Acharya. And all glories to all the devotees of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. In Jagannath Puri, there was a young boy who had been born of an Arisian Brahmana, but later lost his father. The boy's features were very beautiful, and his behavior was extremely gentle. The boy came daily to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and offered him respectful obeisances. He was free to talk with Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu because the Lord was his life and soul. But the boy's intimacy with the Lord and the Lord's mercy toward him were intolerable for Damodar Pandita. Damodar Pandita again and again forbade the son of the Brahmana to visit the Lord, but the boy could not bear staying home and not seeing Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. The boy came every day to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who treated him with great affection. It is the nature of any boy to go see a man who loves him. This was intolerable for Damodar Pandita. He became greatly unhappy, but there was nothing he could say, for the boy would ignore his restrictions. One day when the boy came to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the Lord very affectionately inquired from him about all kinds of news. After some time, when the boy stood up and left, the intolerant Damodar Pandita began to speak.
Damodar Pandit impudently said to the Lord, quote, "Everyone says that you are a great teacher because of your instructions to others, but now we shall find out what kind of teacher you are." Purport. Damodar Pandit was a great devotee of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Sometimes, however, a person in such a position becomes impudent, being influenced by the external energy and material considerations. Thus, a devotee mistakenly dares to criticize the activities of the spiritual master or the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Despite the logic that, quote, Caesar's wife must be above suspicion, a A devotee should not be disturbed by the activities of his spiritual master and should not try to criticize him. A devotee should be fixed in the conclusion that the spiritual master cannot be subject to criticism and should never be considered equal to a common man. Even if there appears to be some discrepancy according to an imperfect devotee's estimation, the devotee should be fixed in the conviction that even if his spiritual master goes to a liquor shop, he is not a drunkard. Rather, he must have some purpose in going there. It is said in a Bengali poem, Yadyapi Nityananda Surabhadiyaya Tatapiyo Haya Nityanandaraya. Quote, even if I see that Lord Nityananda has entered a liquor shop, I shall not be diverted from my conclusion that Nityanandaraya is the Supreme Personality of Godhead.
You are known as Gosai, teacher or acharya, but now talk about your attributes and reputation will spread throughout the city of Purushottama. How your position will be impaired. Although Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu knew that Damodar Pandit was a pure and simple devotee, upon hearing this impudent talk, the Lord said, "My dear Damodar, what nonsense are you speaking?" Damodar Pandit replied, You are the independent personality of Godhead beyond all criticism. My dear Lord, you can act as you please. No one can say anything to restrict you. Nevertheless, the entire world is impudent. People can say anything. How can you stop them? Dear Lord, you are a learned teacher. Why then don't you consider that this boy is the son of a widowed Brahmani? Why are you so affectionate to him? Although the boy's mother is completely austere and chaste, she has one natural fault. She is a very beautiful young girl. And you, my dear Lord, are a handsome, attractive young man. Therefore, certainly people will whisper about you. Why should you give them such an opportunity? Purport. As a simple and staunch devotee of Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Damodar Pandit could not tolerate criticism of the Lord, but unfortunately, he himself was criticizing Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in his own way. The Lord could understand that it was because of Damodar Pandit's simplicity that he impudently dared to criticize him. Nevertheless, such behavior by a devotee is not very good.
Having said this, Damodar Pandit became silent. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu smiled, pleased within himself, and considered the impudence of Damodar Pandit. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu thought, this impudence is also a sign of pure love for me. I have no other intimate friend like Damodar Pandit. Thinking in this way, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu went to perform his noon duties. The next day he called Damodar Pandit to a solitary place. The Lord said, My dear friend Damodar, you had better go to Nadia and stay with my mother. I see no one but you to protect her, for you are so careful that you can caution even me. You are the most neutral among my associates. This is very good, for without being neutral, one cannot protect religious principles. You can do whatever I cannot. Indeed, you can chastise even me, what to speak of others. It is best for you to go to the shelter of my mother's lotus feet, for no one will be able to behave independently in front of you. At intervals you may come see me here and there, and then soon again go there. Offer my mother millions of my obeisances. Please speak to her about my happiness here and thus give her happiness. Tell her that I sent you to inform her of my personal activities so that she may share in my happiness.
Speaking in this way, satisfy the mind of Mother Shachi. Also remind her of one most confidential incident with this message from me. On a come to your home again and again to eat all the sweetmeats and vegetables you offer. You know that I come and eat the offerings, but because of external separation, you consider this a dream. Because Mother Shachi was feeling separation from Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, she thought she was dreaming that her son had come to her. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, however, wanted to inform her that actually it was not a dream. He actually came there and ate whatever his mother offered him. Such are the dealings of advanced devotees with the Supreme Personality of Godhead, as stated in Brahma Samhita 5.38. Premanjana chachurita bhakti vilochanena santa sadaiva hidayeshu vilokayanti yang shama sundaram achinta guna swarupam govindamari purusham tamaham bhajami. I worship the primeval Lord, Govinda, who is always seen by the devotee whose eyes are anointed with the pulp of love. He is seen in his eternal form of Shama Sundar, situated within the heart of the devotee. Their devotees realize dealings with the Lord on the transcendental plane, but because the devotees are still in the material world, they think that these are dreams. The Lord, however, talks with the advanced devotee, and the advanced devotee also sees him. It is all factual, it is not a dream. During the last Magha Sankranti festival, you cooked varieties of vegetables and condensed milk cakes and sweet rice for me. You offered the food to Lord Krishna, and while you were in meditation, I suddenly appeared, and your eyes filled with tears. I went there in great haste and ate everything. When you saw me eating, you felt great happiness. In a moment, after you had wiped your eyes, you saw that the plate you had offered me was empty. Then you thought, I dreamt as if Nimai were eating everything. In the condition of external separation, you were again under illusion, thinking that you had not offered the food to Lord Vishnu. Then you went to see the cooking pots and found that every pot was filled with food. Therefore you again offered the food after cleansing the place for the offering. Thus I again and again ate everything you offer me. Eat everything you offer me, for I am attracted by your pure love. Only by your order am I living in Nilachala, Jagannath Puri. Nevertheless, you still pull me near you because of your great love for me.
Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu told Damodar Pandit, remind Mother Shachi in this way again and again and worship her lotus feet in my name. After saying this, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ordered that varieties of prasadam offered to Lord Jagannath be brought. The Lord then gave him the prasadam, separately packed, to offer to various Vaishnavas and his mother. In this way, Damodar Pandit went to Nadia, Navadvip. After meeting Mother Shachi, he stayed under the care of her lotus feet. He delivered all the prasadam to such great Vaishnavas as Advaita Acharya. Thus he stayed there and behaved according to the orders of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Everyone knew that Damodar Pandit was strict in practical dealings, therefore everyone was afraid of him and dared not to do anything independent. Damodar Pandit would verbally chastise every devotee of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu whom he found deviating even slightly from proper behavior. Thus he established the standard etiquette. In this way, I have described Damodar Pandit's verbal chastisements. As one hears about this, atheistic principles and ignorance depart. The pastimes of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu are deeper than millions of seas and oceans. Therefore, no one can understand what he does or why he does it. I do not know the deep meaning of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's activities. As far as possible, I shall try to explain them externally. One day, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu met Haridas Thakur as usual, and in the course of discussion he inquired as follows.
My dear Thakur Haridas, in this age of Kali, most people are bereft of Vedic culture, and therefore they are called Yavanas. They are concerned only with killing cows and Brahminical culture. In this way, they all engage in sinful acts. Purport. From this statement by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, we can clearly understand that the word Yavana does not refer only to a particular class of men. Anyone who is against the behavior of the Vedic principles is called a Yavana. Such a Yavana may be in India or outside of India. As described here, the symptoms of Yavanas is that they are violent killers of cows in Brahminical culture. We offer our prayers to the Lord by saying, Namo Brahmanya Devaya Go Brahmanya Hitaya Cha. The Lord is the maintainer of Brahminical culture. His first concern is to see to the benefit of cows and brahmanas. As soon as human civilization turns against Brahminical culture and allows unrestricted killing of cows, we should understand that men are no longer under the control of the Vedic culture, but all are Yavanas and Malachyas. It is said that the Krishna consciousness movement will be prominent within the next 10,000 years, but after that people will all become Malachyas and Yavanas. Thus, at the end of the Yuga, Krishna will appear as the Kalki avatar and kill them without consideration. How will these Yavanas be delivered? To my great unhappiness, I do not see any way. Purport. This verse reveals the significance of Lord Sri Chaitanya's appearance as Patita Pavana and the deliverer of all the fallen souls. Sri Narottama Das Thakur sings Patita Pavana Hetu Tava Avatar. O my Lord, you have appeared just to deliver all the fallen souls. O Sama Patita Prabhu Napave Ara. And among all the fallen souls, I am the lowest. How Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was always thinking about the deliverance of the fallen soul is shown by the statement, E dukkha apara, it is my great unhappiness. This statement indicates that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is the Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna himself, is always very unhappy to see the fallen souls in the material world. Therefore, he himself comes as he is, or he comes as a devotee in the form of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, to deliver love of Krishna directly to the fallen souls. Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is so merciful that he not only gives knowledge of Krishna, but by his practical activities teaches everyone how to love Krishna. Krishna Prema Pradayate. Those who are following in the footsteps of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu should take the Lord's mission most seriously. In this age of Kali, people are gradually becoming less than animals. Nevertheless, although they are eating the flesh of cows and are envious of Brahminical culture, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is considering how to deliver them from this horrible condition of life. Thus he asks all Indians to take up his mission. Bharat Bhumite Haila Manusya Janma Yara Janma Sartaka Kari Kara Para Upakara. One who has taken his birth as a human being in the land of India, Bharatvarsh, should make his life successful and work for the benefit of all other people. It is therefore the duty of every advanced and cultured Indian to take this cause very seriously. All Indians should help the Krishna consciousness movement in its progress to the best of their ability. Then they will be considered real followers of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Unfortunately, even some so-called Vaishnavas enviously refuse to cooperate with this movement, but instead condemn it in so many ways. We are very sorry to say that these people try to find fault with us, being unnecessarily envious of our activities, although we are trying to the best of our ability to introduce the Krishna consciousness movement directly into the countries of the Yavanas and Malachyas. Such Yavanas and Malachyas are coming to us and becoming purified Vaishnavas who follow in the footsteps of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. One who identifies himself as a follower of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu should feel like Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who said, Iha sabara konmate haive nistara. How will all these Yavanas be delivered? Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was always anxious to deliver the fallen souls because their fallen condition gave him great unhappiness. That is the platform on which one can propagate the mission of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu.
Haridas Thakur replied, My dear Lord, do not be in anxiety. Do not be unhappy to see the condition of the Yavanas in material existence. Purport. These words of Haridas Thakur are just befitting a devotee who has dedicated his life and soul to the service of the Lord.
When the Lord is unhappy because of the condition of the fallen souls, the devotee consoles him, saying, "My dear Lord, do not be in anxiety." This is service. Everyone should adopt the cause of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to try to relieve him from the anxiety he feels. This is actually service to the Lord. One who tries to relieve Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's anxiety for the fallen souls is certainly a most dear and confidential devotee of the Lord. To blaspheme such a devotee who is trying his best to spread the cult of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is the greatest offense. One who does so is simply awaiting punishment for his envy.
Because the Yavanas are accustomed to saying Harama, Harama, O Lord Ramachandra, they will very easily be delivered by this namabhas. A devotee in advanced ecstatic love exclaims, "O my Lord Ramachandra, O my Lord Ramachandra." But the Yavanas also chant, Ha Rama, Ha Rama. Just see their good fortune. Purport. If a child touches fire, the fire will burn him, and if an elderly man touches fire, it will burn him also. Haridas Thakur says that a great devotee of the Lord exclaims Ha Rama, Ha Rama. But although Yavanas do not know the transcendental meaning of Ha Rama, Ha Rama, they say those words in the course of their ordinary life. For the Yavanas, the words Ha Rama mean abominable, whereas the devotee exclaims the words Ha Rama in ecstatic love. Nevertheless, because the words Ha Rama are the spiritual summum bonum, the fact is the same, whether they are uttered by Yavanas or by great devotees, just as fire is the same both for a child and for an elderly man. In other words, the holy name of the Lord, Ha Rama, always acts, even when the holy name is chanted without reference to the Supreme Lord. Yavanas utter the holy name in a different attitude than devotees, but the holy name Harama is so powerful spiritually that it acts anywhere, whether one knows it or not. This is explained as follows. Namacharya Haridas Thakur, the authority on the chanting of the holy name, said, "The chanting of the Lord's holy name to indicate something other than the Lord is an instance of namabhas. Even when the holy name is chanted in this way, its transcendental power is not destroyed. Even a malecha who is being killed by the tusk of a boar and who cries in distress again and again, Ha Rama, Ha Rama, attains liberation. What then to speak of those who chant the holy name with veneration and faith?" Report. This refers to an instance in which a meat eater being killed by a boar uttered the words Ha Rama again and again at the time of his death. Since this is a quotation from the Nrsimha Purana, this indicates that in the Puranic age there must also have been malechas and yavanas, meat eaters, and the words Ha Rama, meaning condemned, were also uttered in those days. Thus Haridas Thakur gives evidence that even a meat eater who condemns something by uttering the words Ha Rama gets the benefit of chanting the holy name that the devotee chants to mean, "O my Lord Rama." Jamya was a great sinner during his life, but at the time of death he accidentally called for his youngest son, whose name was Narayan, and the attendants of Lord Vishnu came to relieve him from the bonds of Yamaraj, the superintendent of death. The word Rama consists of the two syllables Ra and Ma. These are unseparated and are decorated with the loving word Ha, meaning O. The letters of the holy name have so much spiritual potency that they act even when uttered improperly.
Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur states that the word Vyavahita, improperly uttered, is used here to refer to the mundane vibration of the letters of the alphabet. Such negligent utterance for the sense gratification of materialistic persons is not a vibration of transcendental sound. Utterance of the holy name while one engages in sense gratification is an impediment on the path toward achieving ecstatic love for Krishna. On the other hand, if one who is eager for devotional service utters the holy name, even partially or improperly, the holy name, which is identical with the Supreme Personality of Godhead, exhibits its spiritual potency because of that person's offenseless utterance. Thus one is relieved from all unwanted practices, and one gradually awakens his dormant love for Krishna. If a devotee once utters the holy name of the Lord, or if it penetrates his mind or enters his ear, which is the channel of oral reception, that holy name will certainly deliver him from material bondage, whether vibrated properly or improperly, with correct or incorrect grammar, or properly joined or vibrated in separate parts. O Brahmana, the potency of the holy name is therefore certainly great. However, if one uses the vibration of the holy name for the benefit of the material body, for material wealth and followers, or under the influence of greed or atheism, in other words, if one utters the name with offenses, such chanting will not produce the desired result very soon. Therefore, one should diligently avoid offenses in chanting the holy name of the Lord. Purport. This verse from Padma Purana is included in the Hare Bhakti Vilas 11.289 by Sanatana Goswami. Wherein Srila Sanatana Goswami gives the following explanation: Vachi gatam prasangad van madhye pravritam api smaranam patagatam katanchin manasprishtam api shrotra mulam gatam kinchit shrutam api shudha varnam va ashudha varnam api va Vyavahitam shabdhantarena yad vyavadhanam vakshamana narayana shabdasya kinchid ucharanantaram prasangar apatitam shabdhantaram tena rahitam sat. This means that if one somehow or other hears, utters, or remembers the holy name, or if he catches his mind while coming near his ears, that holy name, even if vibrated in separate words, will act. An example of such separation is given as follows: Yad va yad yapi halam riktam it yad yukto hakara rikarayor vritya hariti namastyeva tata raja mahishi et yatra rama nam api evam anyar apyuyam tatapi tatta nama madhye vyavadyayakam aksharantaram asit ye tadrisha vyavadhana rahitam ityartam yadva vyavahitam Chatad rahitam chapi va tatra vyavahitam namnaha kinchir ucharanantaram katanchir apatitam shabdhantaram samadhaya paschan nama vishtakshara graham ityevam rupam madhye shabdhantare nantaritam ityartha rahitam paschad avashish Shishtakshara Grahanam Varjitam Kinachir Angshena Hinam Ityartha Tatapi Taryatyeva. Suppose one is using the two words halam riktam. Now the syllable ha in the word halam and the syllable ri in riktam are separately pronounced, but nevertheless the holy name will act because one somehow or other utters the word hari. Similarly, in the word Raja Mahishi, the syllables Ra and Ma appear in two separate words, but because they somehow or other appear together, the holy name Rama will act, provided there are no offenses. Sarvebhya papebhyo paradhebhyash samsarad apyudhar Yatyeveti satyameva kintu nama sevanasya mukyam yat palam tannash sabdyaha sampadyate tata deha bharanadyartam api nama sevanena mukyam palam ashru prasidyatityaha tachcheriti. Holy name has so much spiritual potency that it can deliver one from all sinful reactions and material entanglements, but utterance of the holy name will not be very soon fruitful if done to facilitate sinning. Tanama chedyadi dehari madhye nikshiptam deha varanadhyartam eva vinyastam tadapi pala janakam nabhavati kim. Apitu bhavatyeva kintu atra iha loke shigram na bhavati kintu vilambanaeva bhavatityartaha. The holy name is so powerful that it must act, but when one utters the holy name with offenses, its action will be delayed, not immediate. Although in favorable circumstances, the holy names of the Lord act very quickly. Now Acharya Haridas Thakur continued, if one offensively utters the holy name, even imperfectly, my phone flipped. Oh man. Yeah.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. What? Bro, you had it pulled up on your phone, right? I will just read until he can get it fixed.
Also,
I can find it. Acharya Haridas Thakur continued, if one offensively utters the holy name even imperfectly, one can be freed from all the results of sinful life. Text 62. O reservoir of all good qualities, just worship Sri Krishna, the purifier of all purifiers, the most exalted of the personalities, worshipped by choice poetry. Worship him with a faithful, unflinching mind, without duplicity, and in a highly elevated manner. Thus worship the Lord, whose name is like the sun, for just as a slight appearance of the sun dissipates the darkness of night, so a slight appearance of the holy name of Krishna can drive away all the darkness of ignorance that arises in the heart due to greatly sinful activities performed in previous lives. 63. Purport. This verse is found in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu 2.1.103. Text. Even a faint light from the holy name of the Lord can eradicate all the reactions of sinful life. While dying, Ajamil chanted the holy name of the Lord, intending to call his son Narayan. Nevertheless, he attained the spiritual world. What then to speak of those who chant the holy name with faith and reverence? Purport. This is from Srimad Bhagavatam 6.249. Text. Because of the even the faintest rays of the effulgence of the Lord's holy name, one can attain liberation. We can see this in all the revealed scriptures. The evidence appears in the story of Ajamil in Srimad Bhagavatam. As Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu heard this from Haridas Thakur, the happiness within his heart increased, but as a matter of course, he still inquired further. On this earth there are many living entities, the Lord said, some moving and some not moving. What will happen to the trees, plants, insects, and other living entities? How will they be delivered from material bondage? Haridas Thakur replied, My dear Lord, the deliverance of all moving and non-moving living entities takes place only by your mercy. You have already granted this mercy and delivered them. You have loudly chanted the Hare Krishna mantra, and everyone moving or not moving is benefited by hearing it. My Lord, the moving entities who have heard your loud Sankirtan have already been delivered from bondage to the material world, and after the non-moving living entities like trees hear it, there is an echo. Actually, however, it is not an echo, it is the kirtan of the non-moving living entities. All this, although inconceivable, is possible by your mercy. When loud chanting of the Hare Krishna mantra is performed all over the world by those who follow in your footsteps, all living entities, moving and non-moving, dance in ecstatic devotional love. My dear Lord, all the incidents that took place while you were going to Vrindavan through the forest known as Jarikanda have been related to me by your servant Balabhadra Bhattacharya. When your devotee Vasudev Datta submitted his plea at your lotus feet for the deliverance of all living entities, you accepted that request. My dear Lord, you have accepted the form of a devotee just to deliver all the fallen souls of this world.
You have preached the loud chanting of the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, and in this way, you freed all moving and non-moving living entities from material bondage. Text 77 translation. Sir Chaitanya Mahaprabhu replied, if all living entities are liberated, the entire universe will be devoid of living beings. Text 78-79 translation. Haridasa said, my Lord, as long as you are situated within the material world, you will send to the spiritual sky all the developed moving and non-moving living entities in different species. Then again, you will awaken the living entities who are not yet developed and engage them in activities. Text 80 translation. In this way, all moving and non-moving living entities will come into existence, and the entire universe will be filled as it was previously. Purport. While we are preaching, opposing elements sometimes argue, if all living entities were delivered by the Krishna consciousness movement, what would happen then? The universe would be devoid of living entities. In answer to this, we may say that in a prison there are many prisoners, but if one thinks that the prison would be empty if all the prisoners adopted good behavior, he is incorrect. Even if all the prisoners within a jail are freed, other criminals will fill it again. A prison will never be vacant, for there are many prospective criminals who will fill the prison cells, even if the present criminals are freed by the government. As confirmed in the Bhagavad Gita 13:22, Karanam Guna Sangos Sayasad Asad Yoni Yanamasu, because of the living entities associated with material nature, he meets with good and evil among various species. There are many unmanifested living entities covered by the mode of ignorance who will gradually come to the mode of passion. Wow. And most of them will become criminals because of their primitive activities and again fill the prisons. Text 81 translation. Previously, when Lord Ramachandra left this world, he took with him all the living entities of Ayodhya. Then he filled Ayodhya again with other living entities. Text 82 translation. My dear Lord, you have set a plan in motion by descending to the material world, but no one can understand how you are acting. Wow. Text 83 translation. Formerly, when Lord Krishna descended in Vrindavan, he freed all living entities in the universe from material existence in the same way. Text 84 translation. Krishna, the unborn supreme personality of Godhead, master of all masters, of mystic power, delivers all living entities, moving and non-moving. Nothing is astonishing in the activities of the Lord. Purport. This is a quotation from Srimad Bhagavatam 10:29-16. Text 85 translation. Although the Supreme Personality of Godhead may be seen, glorified, or remembered with an attitude of envy, he nevertheless awards most confidential liberation, which is rarely achieved by the demigods and demons. What then can be said of those who are already fully engaged in the devotional service to the Lord? Purport. This is a quotation from the Vishnu Purana 4:15-17, text 86 translation. By descending as an incarnation at Navadvipa, you, just like Krishna, have already delivered all the living entities of the universe. Oh, man. So, text 87 translation, one may say that he understands the glories of Sir Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He may know whatever he may know, but as far as I am concerned, this is my conclusion. Text 88 translation. My dear Lord, your pastimes are just like an ocean of nectar. It is not possible for me to conceive how great that ocean is, or even to understand a drop of it.
BNS as well.
It's a good book.